Next on News 3 Now, the latest on yesterday's power outages that swept downtown Madison. And an organization is offering rides to those who need it most, especially in hot weather. Plus, why thousands of people from around the world are coming to Madison this weekend to shop for American Girl dolls.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. Just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center, 3 people are in police custody following a situation near downtown Beloit. City spokesperson Sarah Millard says around 7:45 p.m., police and fire responded to a domestic disturbance near the 600 block of Broad Street. Police say they arrested a man in his 50s for battery and armed robbery. 2 other women are also in police custody. They say this is an ongoing investigation. Continuing coverage of yesterday's power outages, power has been restored to all Madison Gas and Electric customers following yesterday's substation fires. Today, Madison Gas and Electric says crews are at the site of the explosion to conduct their restoration process. Work crews were assessing the damage caused by the fire. Madison Gas and Electric says there's an ongoing investigation as to what caused it. There were also cleanup crews on site.
We're continuing to assess the extent of the damage and conduct an investigation. The cleanup work is ongoing, and it's what you would expect following a fire at a substation.
When asked what the cleanup entailed, MG&E said it's a cleanup and restoration of the substation. The Department of Natural Resources is overseeing the cleanup and providing technical assistance. DNR says their primary concern is containment of the material released by the explosion, including transformer oil and the runoff water used to fight the fire. MG&E says, quote, "We are not concerned about the forecasted weather impacting our ongoing restoration process. We are continuing to make substantial progress." Local restaurants are back in business after having to close their doors during the power outage yesterday. Some restaurants were able to open last year after having their power restored that evening. Others remained closed throughout the entire day. The main concern was making sure their establishments were safe and the food could be preserved. Restaurants were putting their perishable items in coolers and on ice to keep from going bad. Suejo, located across the street from the fire, reopened today and says it was unfortunate to be closed heading into the weekend.
Once the power came back on, it was here to stay. So we're going to operate under the assumption that we're just going to be good to go from here on out, and hopefully that's the case.
Restaurant managers say they will proceed with business as usual. When asked if there would be any more rolling power outages, MG&E said all power was restored. Storms that swept through the state today are being blamed for 2 injuries in Trempealeau County, and authorities are investigating whether the storm was a factor in 2 deaths, one in Wausau and one in Trempealeau County. Upstate, law enforcement and firefighters from Green Bay and several counties say they were out checking on damage this afternoon. Authorities are asking anyone who sees wires down to report it to police. Officials say it could take some time to clear roads that are blocked by fallen trees or wires. Let's turn it over to Dave Caulfield with your first alert forecast. It's starting to feel a little better out there, Dave.
Yeah, after those storms came through, it really knocked our heat and humidity way down across southern Wisconsin. They were powerful storms at times with some tree damage across southern Wisconsin as well. But it could have been worse had it not run into that first round of storms a little bit closer to Milwaukee. Doppler track is quiet across much of the state right now. A few light returns showing up just south of Dubuque. There is a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, especially close to the state line overnight, but I don't think those will be too strong. Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam looking at mostly cloudy skies right now. Temperatures have moved into the upper 60s and the lower 70s across southern Wisconsin, so that's about 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday, where temperatures were still pretty close to 90 degrees, and it feels a lot less humid outside as well, with heat index values pretty close to what the thermometer is suggesting. There is a chance of some showers and thunderstorms overnight, but I think those storms will wrap up early on Sunday morning, setting up a partly sunny, cooler and less humid day for Sunday. When I come back in just a few minutes, we'll talk about a more pleasant week ahead in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
More local news now. This weekend, we've seen extreme heat followed by severe weather. And while this is just an inconvenience for some, especially the elderly and those that are disabled, it can be dangerous for. Adam Dexter joins us now with how a Madison-based startup company is looking to help people in times like these.
Well, Amanda, hot temperatures or pouring rain can make something like waiting for a bus a lot more challenging. But a local startup company is trying to make a difference.
This weekend, extreme summer weather made its way to Madison. The high heat and rain making it difficult for some people to get around. That's where Jessica Soto Hernandez comes in.
I meet people from all walks of life and learn a lot, and it's just a lot of fun.
She's one of 30 drivers for rideshare company Carpool, which is designed to take people who are elderly or have disabilities from point A to point B. She says it's about compassion.
There's somebody who needs to have someone meet them at the door. They need help getting into the car. They need quiet music. Maybe they're on the spectrum and they don't like noise. We're going to know all of this.
And that when the temperatures get hot, or in today's case, the rain comes down hard, it's a better way to care and provide peace of mind.
It's reassuring probably more to the family of the people who are using our service to know that they don't have their loved ones waiting on a bus or on a taxi that might not show up.
Carpool founder and CEO Josh Massey has worked with other rideshare companies in the past, but says the idea for Carpool was born when he was approached by Dane County DHS.
They said you have a model that would be similar to what we would need for people with disabilities and the aging. Would you want to come and get involved? And
now he's working to expand the company across the state.
we're looking at like La Crosse and Eau Claire, where we have presence, and then looking at Brown County next as well.
Soto Hernandez says the work is well worth it, and that taking the elderly and those who are disabled where they need to go provides a sense of purpose, especially on weekends like this one.
Any way that I can give back to my community and help people get from point A to point B safely, especially with like weather or maybe the area of where they're going, they don't feel safe. It's very reassuring to know that they have door-to-door service.
Recently, Carpool received $150,000 in startup money from Nashville investor Jumpstart Foundry. Massey says now it's about adding more drivers so they can help more people.
All right. Thank you so much, Adam. Madison's Opera in the Park concert was postponed tonight. The free concert was supposed to happen tonight, but instead it will be in Garner Park at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The Madison Opera's Facebook page says it was canceled because of the recent heat wave and tonight's storms. This is the 18th year of the summer tradition in Madison. 2 teens were arrested this afternoon after reports of shots fired in an ensuing car chase. Madison police say officers responded to the 6900 block of Park Ridge Drive shortly before 12:45 today. No one was hurt and nothing was damaged, but a casing was recovered on the scene and evidence was discovered linking the shooting to a stolen white Audi that left the area. Police then say the stolen car was seen on East Washington Avenue shortly before 1:30 and the car chase traveled into the city of Madison's North and East police districts. The 2 occupants, 17 and 16-year-old girls, ran after a crash with a Madison police squad car, and they were arrested shortly after. A Lyft driver in Elm Grove was arrested this morning after allegedly threatening passengers with a gun. Elm Grove police say 2 people requested a Lyft driver last night just before 10:30. They got in the car but got out after an argument with the driver, which is when the driver nearly hit one of them. Police say this is when he pulled out a gun, pointed it at the passenger's head, and said, quote, "I'll blow your head off you." This 47-year-old Milwaukee man is currently being held at the Waukesha County Jail for charges of endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon. President Trump is standing firm on his defense of his supporters chanting "Send her back" in reference to Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. In a tweet this morning, the president said, "As you can see, I did nothing to lead people on, nor was I particularly happy with their chant." But the president also did nothing to stop it. Yesterday, he even called his supporters incredible patriots. Today, another Congresswoman the president has criticized, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, spoke in her New York City district.
This tells you that this president's policies are not about immigration, it's about ethnicity and racism.
Governor Evers is also taking issue with Trump's tweets, calling the president out tonight for his, quote, racist tweets on a CNN town hall.
Obviously, it was a racist rant on his part. But I think, everybody knows that's part of his DNA. And so I believe to win Wisconsin, you're going to have to focus on issues. I think we own the values. I think the Democrats own the values in this race.
Trump is also spending his weekend on another issue. Rapper A$AP Rocky, the American, was jailed after a street fight in Sweden, which his lawyers say he did not provoke. In a tweet today, Trump said, "Just had a very good call with the Swedish Prime Minister, who assured me that A$AP Rocky will be treated fairly." The president also offered to personally vouch for the rapper's bail. Britain's foreign minister says Iran is on a dangerous path after it seized an oil tanker. An Iranian state news agency has released a video that apparently shows troopers capturing the British-flagged ship. David Martin spoke with the top U.S. military commander for the Middle East.
We were traveling with General Frank McKenzie in Afghanistan when those two British tankers were seized. He told CBS News exactly what happened. The first ship was flying a British flag as it passed through the Strait of Hormuz at the mouth of the Persian Gulf.
She was fired upon, subsequently boarded, taken under Iranian custody, and is now deep in Iranian territorial waters.
The second British tanker was flying a Liberian flag.
The Iranians boarded her. We believe they searched for British persons, found none, and then eventually allowed her to continue her voyage.
3 hours later, an American flag cargo ship, the Maersk Chicago, went through the strait with what McKenzie called iron overhead, meaning F-18 jet fighters flying air cover. The Iranians left it alone. The U.S. now has destroyers stationed at either end of the strait.
Do those destroyers have orders to intervene if they see another ship hijacking?
They would only do so in the case of a U.S. flagged vessel coming under attack.
After that interview, McKenzie canceled the rest of his visit to Afghanistan and flew to Qatar on the Persian Gulf to deal with this latest incident. David Martin, CBS News, Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar.
Vice President Mike Pence appeared at the Kennedy Space Center this afternoon to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11's landing on the moon. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin joined Pence on stage. Aldrin showed him the launch pad where he began that journey and later got a standing ovation during Pence's speech.
President Kennedy summarized that epic endeavor in one simple sentence. We choose to go to the moon. And make no mistake about it. The moon was a choice, an American choice.
Mission Commander Neil Armstrong, the first man to step on the moon, died 7 years ago. Command Module pilot Michael Collins did not attend today's celebration in Florida. Still to come on News 3 Now at 10, a world-class musician and former UW professor was honored downtown today. We'll show you how. Welcome back. Despite this weekend's heat and power outages, Maxwell Street Days return to State Street today with local food, shopping, and art. The annual sidewalk sale on State Street takes place on the third weekend of July every year.
Because of the fire yesterday, they were kind of discouraging people from coming downtown, but all of that's clear now, and you can come downtown and enjoy it.
It's named after the Chicago Maxwell Street Outdoor Market and Urban Bazaar that lasted for over a century before ending in 1994. If you missed the festival today, you can head over to State Street tomorrow between 8 and 5. For a year, the Madison Children's Museum prepared for this weekend's American Girl benefit sale. The sale serves discounts on American Girl merchandise like clothes, books, and the dolls themselves. The money raised helps fund the Children's Museum and the American Girls Fund for Children. American Girl doll classics like Samantha Parkington and Kit Kittredge were sold, along with newer dolls like the Welly Wishers. According to the museum, the event brought in about 6,000 people today, some who traveled from around the world.
It's just kind of like a dream come true. Yeah. Something that I never thought I'd be able to actually experience, but here I am.
The money paid for the dolls is given back to the Madison Children's Museum, along with 20 other organizations. This funds scholarship programs and admissions to the museum so that everyone has a chance to visit.
Everyone who wants to come to the museum is able to come in, even if they can't afford to. So we have an Access for Everyone program, so it has reduced or free admission prices. We have scholarships for our summer camps. It really means that all children can come and play and learn.
Madison Children's Museum has been working with American Girl doll for 32 years, selling merchandise at reduced prices and in turn giving museum access to everyone. World-class musician and now retired UW-Madison professor Richard Davis was honored today in a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new street dedicated in his name. Davis was unable to attend the ceremony himself, but he watched from a Skype call as his UW students played music to honor him and the lessons he left with them. Davis's student, Wilder Dietz, says Davis teaches music with tough love, ferocity, and musical excellence. Dietz is happy his teacher is being recognized for his talent and impact in the Madison area, especially while still alive.
We found it important, the idea of representation, to have in a predominantly black neighborhood feature someone who has been a black hero for Madison, for our country, for the world.
Richard Davis Lane is a block long and runs by the Salvation Army of Dane County in downtown Madison. The new street offers a shortcut to drivers traveling around the area, and it offers the possibility for new businesses to open in the nearby green space. Let's get a first look at your weather with Dave Caulfield. Dave, it's much better out. I'm very excited that it's not as humid.
Yes, I think we can all agree in that fact because that humidity was just oppressive. It was impressive at times last night and into today, with it feeling like the triple digits once again across much of southern Wisconsin, until we saw our shelf cloud come through and bring that rain-cooled air, much cooler and less humid air behind this. This picture comes from Loganville. You can see just how massive this shelf cloud was. Thanks, Mike, for sending this in. And we were rewarded with another fantastic sunset. This is from Windsor. Connie, thank you so much for sending this in. And remember, we love to get your weather photos. We did have, before that nice sunset, we had a little bit of severe weather, some lots, in fact, across much of central and southern Wisconsin. Tree damage and also some very gusty winds, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Madison, close to 60 in portions of Iowa County. Doppler track has been pretty quiet over the last 3 hours or so. Some light radar returns, some light rain just south of Dubuque, making its way into portions of northwestern Illinois. As we zoom out, we can see much of that thunderstorm activity well to our south and west. However, there still is a chance overnight of a few more showers and thunderstorms, especially closer to the state line. In Madison, on the Edgewater Skycam, looking at mostly cloudy skies right now. The almanac for today, we actually reached 90 degrees before that big cool down this afternoon. Normal 82, so once again, near 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Temperatures right now are about 20 degrees cooler than that. Exactly 20 in Madison, 72 in Janesville, 67 in Juneau, and 66 in the Dells. And Look at those heat index values. Way, way different from feeling close to 100 degrees. Even at this time last night in Madison, we feel 30 degrees cooler tonight. So yeah, noticeable outside. Overnight, temperatures dipping into the upper 60s. Can't rule out some showers and storms, especially across far southern Wisconsin. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and mild. For tomorrow, we're near 80 degrees. I think any storms will end early in the morning, cooler and less humid after that. So at least that's some good news to look forward to. Overnight, a few showers and storms, again, can't be ruled out. Temperatures are staying in the 60s, though. Then we'll be in the 70s and 80s tomorrow with partly sunny skies, maybe even a good amount of sunshine by the afternoon, depending on how fast we clear out. And then on Monday, starting off near 60 degrees, and temperatures are going to struggle to get very far into the 70s. So we're going to be saying to ourselves, wait a minute, 2 days ago it was feeling like it was 110 degrees outside. Now it can barely get to 75 degrees. So big changes still on the way for southern Wisconsin. Again, those showers and thunderstorms wrapping up early tomorrow morning, then lots of sunshine for the week ahead with temperatures in the lower to middle 80s. I think our next chance of maybe a few thunderstorms comes by the time we get to next weekend. So a much quieter, much more comfortable weather pattern in store for next week.
It looks like it's going to be a beautiful week.
Yeah, not
I'm
much
excited.
to complain about.
Yeah, nothing else to say. It sounds great. Thank you, Dave. Gio Gonzalez attempting a triumphant return to the mound. Highlights coming up next in sports.
Okay, so Gio Gonzalez hasn't pitched since May. Just got off the 10-day injured list today so that he could start tonight's game against the Diamondbacks. Little tough start for him, though. Tie game in the 5th inning, giving up an RBI double to Carson Kelly here. Diamondbacks would take the 2-1 lead. Gonzalez pitched 4 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits. In the 6th, though, Eric Thames trying to bring some life back to the Brew Crew. A solo shot way out to right field, and we have got a 1-run game. 2 on for Mike Moustakas in the 8th inning. He'll go the opposite way. That's a 3-run home run. A Brewer is taking the 5-3 lead. Right now, they're up 6-3 in the 9th. Well, the weather up north definitely affecting the 43rd WFCA All-Star Games in Oshkosh. The small school game delayed by 3 hours, setting the rest of the day back. First half action here. Former Martin Luther running back Darius Crawley-Reed getting the handoff. 20 yards in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game, 7-0 South. But the North ties it up in the second quarter, though. Fenimore's Nick Fitzgerald in the right place at the right time there for the pick. But the South cannot convert. Before halftime, the North will score one more time, but Caleb Raymond, the offensive lineman from Lakeside Lutheran, recovering the blocked punt for a score, but the North prevails 21-14. To the large schools, a low-scoring affair to start, but some familiar faces here. Derek Schwarting, the quarterback from McFarland, airing it out to Cooper Nelson, the former Sun Prairie Cardinal, with the touchdown catch. He'll be a walk-on for the Badgers in a little more than a month. Right now, the North leads the South 19-11. Free agency moves still alive and thriving for the Bucs front office. Kyle Korver has agreed to a 1-year deal in Milwaukee worth $2.6 million. That's according to his agent. The free agent guard was reportedly torn between the Bucs and 76ers, but he does have a past relationship and history with Bucs head coach Mike Budenholzer. Korver played for Coach Bud for 5 seasons in Atlanta, and he was an All-Star in 2015. The 38-year-old is one of the most accurate three-point shooters in his time. In his 16-year career, he's shooting 43% from 3, which should complement the Bucs quite nicely. Well, it's a hot day in Chicago, too, for the Padres and Cubs. Get that sunscreen on there, dude. He's like blue. Anyways, all across baseball stadiums throughout the country, fans used whatever they could to keep cool, whether it was a paper fan, a bring your own fan like this guy here, scorecards, drank a lot of water. I mean, it was just hot all around, I feel like, everywhere today, especially if you had to be outside. I mean, this kid's chugging water. He has the right idea
That
there.
first guy, I don't think he's ever going to rub in all of that
I know, he was
sunscreen.
very
It was
blue.
too much. He went too far.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. It's feeling better. It's going to be a beautiful week.
Yeah, as we head into Monday, a lot of sunshine on the way for the work week. Still maybe a few more showers and thunderstorms, especially closer to the state line. We're already seeing some light returns pop up across Rock County, but at least it feels a lot better outside. 60s and 70s instead of triple digits like last night. 7 to 10 day forecast. A lot of sunshine, as Amanda said, and temperatures will be in the lower to middle 80s as we head into next week. So a big improvement, much more comfortable as well.
Not that thick air we've been feeling.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.